It's training camp season. Today we're looking at the New York Jets and getting a good look at Justin Fields' joint practice with the Giants. We're going to watch him sling some rockets all around the field. Before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at training camp practices every single day, looking at your favorite players, your favorite teams, those rookies, guys climbing depth charts. Those guys are getting ready to draft in fantasy football soon. You need to know what they're doing on the field. Click that button. Stop missing out. We're looking at Justin Fields today. We're also looking at the Jets offense. We're going to loop this and keep talking ball, but I got clips through all of training camp right now, and we're going to take a look at Justin Fields. There he is. There he is. Getting it in there. Getting it in there. On the move. Justin Fields. I saw him in joint practice today, and I started collecting more clips. That's why you got a mixed bag of clips here. But from what I've read and what I heard, he was on point today. There was a while back, about a week and a half ago, where there was a slew of practices where the completion rates weren't looking good, and now they're starting to look good. He was looking good against the Giants today. He was on point. There was one 11 versus 11 series where there was just one incompletion, and that was to Reynolds downfield, and it was a drop. That being said, it might be volatile. He might be gelling now. It might be just now coming together. But Justin Fields had himself a day today against the New York Football Giants in joint practice. Things looking good. They're raving about him on social media because he's completing passes. The same people were saying the opposite things when the completion rates were not so good a while back. So we're seeing how this could work going to the start of the season. But Justin Fields, team starting quarterback, he let it rip today. And he's made some throws this training camp season. He's made some big throws. He's let it rip. And we're going to see some of these. Big play machine. He'll push it downfield. He's maturing as a quarterback. We just got to see how this turns out here with the Jets. There's one thing I want to note. The backfield looking studly. Braelon has been hitting on all cylinders, and he has been killing it. He made a catch today. Had some plays today against the Giants. Always making plays. Breece catching balls out of the backfield. They're going to run the ball a lot. The thing about Justin Fields, and during that down set of practices where the incompletion rate wasn't so good and it was blowing up social media, they're not looking to throw the ball a lot. They're not doing that. We know this. One, they did not bring anybody to compete with him. They got one of the best backfields in the NFL. Braelon, Breece Hall, Isaiah Davis is pretty solid. They didn't load up at wide receiver. They got Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's going to get a bulk of the targets. It's going to be a lot of RPO game there. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of RPO game. Those running backs are going to get targets out of the backfield. Like I just said. And then we're going to push it downfield to Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's not open. We got to make it happen. He's probably going to have like 25-ish pass attempts a game. 25 to 30 on average. Some games around 20. Some games where we're going to have to push it a little bit more. 30 to 35. But that's probably where he's going to be at. He's going to take off running. They're going to use the running backs. They're going to use the RPO game. He's got to make a couple throws here and there to keep the chains moving. We make those throws. Jets are more likely going to win those matchups. They can win on the run game. They're going to be moving the ball smooth as butter. If they got to air it out, that's where the questions are going to come up. Can we take the step forward in those matchups? We're going to see a lot of clock ran from this team. I don't see them running a lot of plays. They're going to be using these running backs. Clock's going to be ran a good bit. I believe in neutral game script, they'll probably be one of the back third. They'll be in the back third of the league when it comes to plays ran per game. Neutral game script, remember that. Braelon's been killing it. He's going to be killing it this year. I think the gusto of him and Breece Hall together, that's going to be money. You look at the split in ADP and fantasy football. If you go Breece Hall, get you Braelon because you can afford that with your draft picks. And I would pay a round up Make sure nobody snipes you. Make sure nobody snipes you. I would definitely do that because the price is good. Mason Taylor's been making plays. Watch him throughout the season. I know a lot of people want to know about him. He's been making plays. He made a catch today. He's been looking solid. Garrett Wilson's been making plays. He's been looking solid. The question is, can Justin Fields make those key plays every game to keep those couple drives going? And if the run game's smoking in those matchups, this team can get up on top. That's the thing about this. They're not going to go air raid with Justin Fields. They're not going to throw it 40 to 50 times a game, 38 to 50, 38 to 45. They're going to use those running backs. When you listen to the Jets and them talk about this team, and you exclude what they're going to say about Justin Fields because that's going to come up by proxy, the next thing is up. Braelon Allen, Breece Hall, Braelon Allen, Breece Hall, Isaiah Davis, Braelon Allen, Breece Hall. Bam, bam, bam. That's what you're going to hear. That's what you've been hearing from beat reporters, people at practice, fans at practice. Preseason games, Braelon Allen going off. Fantasy football, Braelon Allen's value. That's what you're hearing from this team. They're going to run the ball. All their transactions suggest they're going to run the football. Strong on defense. And with Justin Fields, this is the best running back depth chart he's ever had, best offensive line he's ever had, the most stable team he's ever been with. He's got a wide receiver one. He's got that Ohio State rapport there. I do not expect him to air it out. I expect him to be good in the run game. I expect him to take off multiple times a game. I expect Justin Fields to be good in fantasy no matter what. If he's having a bad game, he's good in fantasy. Having a great game, good in fantasy due to him taking off. Easy about 40 yards a game with some 100-yarders in there. He's going to take off. It's going to be built in. They strategically built this with Justin Fields. They saw what they had. They know what they wanted. Glenn knows what he wants. That's what you're getting. Can this be consistent? Can this win in the NFL, game in, game out, be consistent? Can we make those big plays and big moments football-wise? That's the big question here. That's the big question. He started to come on with the Steelers before Russell Wilson came in. He was starting to come on. It was a little rough, but it was a transition period. That offensive line wasn't great. You go back to preseason, they couldn't even get the snap right. Center was messing that up. Per beat writers, that was on the center. Whatever you want to believe it is, what it is. But you're also looking at this. Things were a little rough. Things were a little bit rough, then it was starting to come on with the Steelers and the back end. It was starting to come together. And there was some rough patches here in training camp. Starting to come together. He's made some throws. He's made some plays. Everybody thought he was dead with the injury. When he came off of the cart, Twitter blew up. I should have made a video that day just telling you guys to relax. Hey, they wheel out the cart on almost every injury, because the facility might be so far away from the training room, and there's no point putting extra stress when you don't really know what it is, so they just take the cart out. I should have told you guys that, because that's common sense, right? That's common sense. They just wheel the cart out because it's so far away from the training room. There's other obstacles. They don't know what's on the field. They don't want you to trip on something stupid. They don't want more stupid to happen. Just safer, just bring out the cart. Oh, stub your toe, bring out the cart. We don't want to mess you up some more. Could be worse than what it is. We don't know. Let's get you looked at. That's why they bring out the cart. I should have brought that out. Everybody, the football intelligence is on the exact low during those moments. Process that out. Give it an A and a half for the news to break. I should have did that video to help you Jets fans out, your fantasy football aficionados. Be patient. Don't act like the sky is falling when that happens. Just don't. Sometimes you just know when you see it, and sometimes you only get so much hearsay that you just got to sit there and wait and be patient. But considering that, those people out of themselves who act like the sky was falling, so go check those receipts. Go check those receipts so you know who not to follow, because that's common sense. That was a common sense play. Now we're over here zapping up the Giants here. joint practice. Those people acting like the sky was falling during those rough practices that was being reported. Not letting things play out. Let things play out in the season. Like I've been saying, what if this, what if that? This is the thing that needs to happen. Fantasy football wise, you got Taylor right there, I like him, but back there, this is after the injury. He was back the next day. Reminds me of that play against Michigan where he went down with the knee, came out a play or two, but during that time we thought it was over. We thought Ohio State was going to get wrapped up in that game. We thought his career was wrapped up as a Buckeye. We thought it was all done. Comes back like a play or two later after taking his time out. Comes back, rolls out, and throws a dart for a touchdown. He's going to be out there. He's going to be out there if he's banged up a little bit. He's going to be out there. He's going to play through it. That's the thing about this. This is a former 5-star quarterback, went to Georgia, had all the accolades, is up there with Trevor Lawrence during the recruiting process. We go to Georgia, we transfer to Ohio State. Ohio State will look good, but it's hard to really register everything since the wide receivers are so good. It's the Big Ten. They can't play up with that fast-paced Ohio State team. Most of those Big Ten teams with a quarterback with this much talent. We go to the Bears. The Bears are jacked up. The Bears are a crime scene. They're just a crime scene. From coaching staff to offensive line to building around them. It took about a half decade to get to where they are now. We don't even know what they are really right now. Then we go to the Steelers. Offensive line jacked up. We're competing with Russell Wilson. Low volume offense. You got George Pickens there just balling out his eyes out every single training camp. But we get the start of the season, and when things start getting under fire, like this time last year, offensive line likes to go kaput, and now we're wondering what's going on. He's got to fill those oats. Now we get further into the season. We start cooking a little bit. They bring in Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson looks all right, but ain't really good enough. We all know that. Now we're with the Jets. It's kind of a quiet signing. Everybody's wondering what's going on with Justin Fields, but nobody really reads the tea leaves or plays common sense, knowing that they're building this team to run the football, do the RPO game, and just have him win it with his arm when they need to, type of deal. And they're going to utilize his speed on the ground, play to his strengths while trying to coach him up. Better offensive line, best backfield he's ever had, best thing around him, best defense. And all he has to do is not jack it up and win on those key moments. That's really all he has to do. Today was a win. Today was a win for Justin Fields. It's been a weird career. He's just got Garrett Wilson there. Everything else, you look at it on paper, sometimes you look at the player, but really compared to some of those top teams, not really the same when it comes to receiving assets there at wide receiver. We got Mason Taylor there on the come up. That's something to look at there. He's been looking solid. Pay attention to him throughout the season. Tight ends need time to develop. Give them some grace. But that backfield's nasty. You got Braelon Allen. You got Breece Hall. The Killer Bees. They're called the Killer Bees. That started last year. Braelon Allen's been looking good last year as well. Don't be surprised he looks good. This shouldn't be a surprise. He's been looking good with this team. It's just they gave Breece Hall a lot of the work last year. Don't be scared about this team. It's just going to be built and activated a little bit different. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.